Yeah.
Like a roller coaster.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm off to Polestar of Short Hills to take a test drive and check out what I think is one of the more interesting and definitely underrated and not talked enough about EVs out there, which is the Polestar 2. This week, just this week, Polestar did announce the Polestar, I think it's 6. They gotta come up with a better naming scheme, but it's their Roadster that's gonna come out in 2024. And the reservation for at least the initial version of it is $25,000, and the total price of the car is going to be $250,000. So I thought it looked really cool, and I was actually sort of interested in it, but that's just way too crazy for me. So that's probably not happening. But anyway, definitely interested in the Polestar 2, which is what I'm going to be test driving today, and comparing it to what I'm driving right now, which is my 2022 Model Y long range. So overall, fairly comparable. I guess more with the Model 3 than the Y in terms of sort of size and styling. It was more of a sedan than a crossover like this. The range is 270 on the single motor long range and 260 on the dual model long range, which is what I'm going to be driving, I'm pretty sure. And then there's also the performance version, which I'm pretty interested in just because I like the way that it looks with the yellow brake calipers, and you get the yellow performance steering seatbelts with that. But yeah, really lucky to live near one of the showrooms that Polestar actually has. So there's a couple of New York, but I think this is the only one in New Jersey. And there really aren't that many across sort of the New York area. And only maybe somewhere between 1 and 2 dozen of them across the country. And I think one of the other cool things with Polestar is they're one of the first manufacturers to do a full-on integration of Android Auto. Actually, it's got a more complex name that I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's not just the normal Android Auto that you might be used to, which is where you plug in your Android phone with a cable or wirelessly, and it like mirrors apps onto the screen. This is a full like takeover of the entertainment and even like vehicle settings and stuff through Android Auto. So you can install apps and stuff through there. It's basically like native Android in the head unit of the car, which is pretty cool. So Ford is actually moving toward that in the next version of their Sync software, but that hasn't come out yet, and they're probably still about a year away from that. But Polestar was the first to do that, and I think that's pretty interesting to sort of move more and more of that software experience to Android, and gives you a lot more flexibility, customizability, and like the ability to install additional apps, which is really cool. So you can even do like Waze as your navigation, for example, or use PlugShare to see where the charging is and things like that. So I think that's pretty cool. But it does also support Android Auto through your phone, as well as CarPlay, which they pushed as an over-the-air software upgrade a little while ago. So pretty cool to see that they're starting to make some headway on the over-the-air updates also, since a lot of other manufacturers have struggled with that. And I think it's also pretty cool to see that they seem to be tuned pretty well as like another direct-to-consumer business model similar to Tesla. So they don't really have dealerships, they have these showrooms, but you do your ordering online and they just deliver the car straight to you, which is pretty cool. And as a result of that, you do have to like wait for your order, but their wait times are actually pretty short right now. I think they're still really flying under the radar, and as a result, you actually don't have to wait super long for cars. So I've heard somewhere in the range of like 2 to 3 months, basically, depending on the configuration. And you don't have to pay any markup or anything since you're ordering it directly from them, which is cool. So you know exactly what you're getting, and you don't have to negotiate. Ooh, the Lucid is here. I've seen this Lucid a couple of times now, in kind of like a maroonish color, driving up and down this road. definitely a distinctive car. I think, I don't know, from the front, I'm really not a big fan. That like massive grille that's just a big block, I don't think looks particularly nice. And that color certainly exacerbates it. And the sort of chrome trim all around too is not my favorite. But windshield is pretty cool, and just like the overall design, you know, it's very noticeable. And that you know, awesome battery range and everything in it is pretty cool too. So cool to see them, you know, starting to be on the road a little bit more. There is also a Lucid showroom in the Short Hills Mall. I did a quick video where I kind of just walked by and did some impressions before, so you can find that in the channel. But I don't think that they actually offer test drives, although I'll look into it while I'm there today. Yeah, so I'm definitely interested to kind of check out the software and entertainment options in the car, as well as the like driving performance of it, so to see how that compares to Tesla. Because it's great that, you know, they're pretty far up there in terms of range and stuff. I've actually seen a lot of Polestars sort of in our direct area here, so like along this road, as well as at our daycare, there's one that I see all the time, and I've seen a couple of them just kind of driving up and down the road in this area. It's hard to tell them different because like their color options are all pretty similar, like all kind of just in the gray color palette. But I've definitely seen, you know, probably a half dozen or so of them. And I would also like to ask them a little bit about the tax incentives, because I think, as far as I know, they're not eligible now, both because, or actually just because they're not manufactured in the U.S. They would qualify for the under like the pricing requirements. The Polestar 2 starts at a little bit over $48,000. And then when you spec it up, you can get it over that $55,000 limit for a sedan. But most of the models I think would be under. But because they're not manufactured in the US and battery components are not coming from North America, I don't believe that they qualify. But I'm going to ask and see if they actually know. So yeah, next stop, the test drive itself.
We're all set, so you can just put on the brake.
Yep.
Gear
just right into drive. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we're just gonna pull out left here, and awesome. Where we're going.
Just make sure. Am I actually going drive? Where am I looking?
So the column, the steering column is gonna be right there on the left.
Oh, okay. All the way over. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Make sure I wasn't in neutral or something.
Right.
Cool. All right. Awesome.
Mm-hmm. So you're aware of like the regenerative braking when you're driving. So
okay, yeah.
Let's look right here. So I'm gonna put it's a standard.
Okay.
So you
one pedal.
feel for it.
Yep. Gotcha.
But this is gonna be all of our driving information as far as
that
we can change it.
Yep. Yeah, that feels very Tesla-like.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna make it right out of here.
I know, like everybody when they, and myself too, like when you first, you know, do an EV and have like the regenerative braking,
it's
like,
curve.
but then you get used to it, and like I can't drive
without it.
You know,
I personally
regular car.
love it. You're gonna make a left out of here. Sure. Like I drive these cars all day, and then getting back into my regular car, I kind of want that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it right here too.
Right. Yeah. We have a Buick also, the like big what's it called, Enclave.
Oh, those are beautiful.
And but like, you know, it's such a big heavy car that like I'm just not used to having to hit the brake that hard and stuff, so like I feel like whenever I switch back to it, it's so jerky and everything.
No, yeah. This car's a lot smoother.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna continue all the way down straight, and I'll let you know when I'm gonna turn.
It's so nice to have like the map thing in there
right
too.
in front
That's
of
so
me,
cool.
yeah. So whenever we do our maps up here, it's obviously gonna come up here if we want it. But it's always gonna be in our driver's screen because we don't want to take our eyes away as much as possible.
Right. You get a lot of stuff with this. Okay, so you have speed limit, speed, temperature, charging, and everything. Awesome. I didn't know. I guess like it must also show. There's nobody going. So if I do like regenerative, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so
right. That little graph right there is going to show you how much you're actually putting it back in. You're not going to see real time charge, but it's going to extend the battery.
Awesome.
And then whenever we put something into the maps up here, it's going to show up there.
Awesome.
Also, with the Google integrated, we can talk to Google. So go like, okay, Google. But for stuff like that is awesome to have.
Yeah.
This is super easy to use, just like an iPhone or Android.
Yep.
Just the home button's always going to be right here. So if you're somewhere you don't know where you're at, you don't know how to get back, always just swipe up from the home screen, and you're always going to get back home.
Gotcha. It's and so cool that you can like, you know, you're not limited to like what's installed on it. Like you can install anything from Android basically.
Exactly.
Right?
So we can't do it now while we're driving, but once you have, say you have a car, you have your profile set up. This profile is already set up here.
Yep.
You can go to Maps. Google Play Store. Download whatever app that's available with the car, Spotify, Pandora, other driving apps, especially also some apps for charging stations.
Yeah.
Can integrate into here, like ChargePoint has their own app.
Okay. Yeah.
It's really nice to use.
Yeah.
But we can always look at the charging stuff right here.
Okay. Oh, even in Google Maps even. Okay. Awesome.
So with the new software update, it's going to show us what bays are available at said charging station, so we don't want to drive all the way there just for all of them to be taken.
Right. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so even like real-time status basically.
For sure.
Right? Okay. Oh, cool. At Livingston Mall, there's a fast one. Okay.
Yeah, Livingston Mall is really fast. There's like the CCS 50 kilowatt. Yeah. So with the Polestar under an hour, 40 minutes.
Okay. That's great. Yeah, that's where I take the bus into the city when I go in from there. So, so that's convenient. Yeah.
So on this road is actually perfect.
Yeah.
So right here on the left side of your steering wheel, you're gonna see the little speedometer button.
Yeah.
If you press that, it's gonna turn on our cruise control.
Okay.
And then if you press the right button one more time, it's gonna turn on our pilot assist. So it's pretty much help us drive and keep us in the lane. A little snoozy at night.
Yeah.
Keep you right in the center. Really aware.
Yeah.
So when
Does it know? I mean, it'll stop because of that car there, but does it do like red lights too? Nice.
Obviously not as smooth as us doing it, but just in case it's gonna be there.
Yeah.
So normally,
I should have just let it do. I hit the brake. I should have let it do. It would have been smoother than me.
Actually, we're gonna do this. Hey Google, take me to the mall at Short Hills.
All right, the mall at Short Hills. Let's go.
Very nice.
It's all set up for us.
Oh, wow.
So you can make a right out at this light, and then we'll just follow the Google all the way back.
Okay. Now, will it do? So, if you did something that is, beyond 190 miles, like, will it add chargers and stuff along the way?
Exactly. So it'll tell you what time is best to pull over to charge.
Yep.
To maximize that like time, because if you charge from a dead 20%, it's going to take longer.
Right.
Also, if you're at 90, it's going to take longer to get to that 100.
Okay. Yeah.
But it'll show you what the best charging is on the way there. Yeah, now it's an amazing pull.
Yeah. I saw I think even non-performance was 0 to 60 in like 4.2 seconds or something. Do you know how much faster the performance is?
So the performance, I'm not sure as far as 0 to 60 times.
Yeah.
I know they add another like 70 horsepower with like the software update that they do for the performance package.
Oh wow.
And you also
you
get
can feel that.
dampener, so like you can ever take the Polestar 2 to a track. They do suggest that you take it to a mechanic to adjust them, but you can always, if you have a little lift, the car comes with the lift. With the front wheels, you can just turn them all the way left.
Yeah,
there's a little valve. Yeah, there you go.
Brand new one up there, yeah.
You get a little valve, you turn it like a water valve.
Okay.
That'll stiffen or loosen the suspension.
Yeah.
So you'll find those like on Ferraris and stuff, adjustable suspension.
Oh, wow.
Owens is really great company. The Brembo brakes will stop you on a dime.
I mean, I feel like I barely touched them, and it was you definitely noticed them.
And the feeling just driving is awesome. You can put it into sport mode. It's not going to completely turn off our traction control. Yeah. Because this car is heavy and all-wheel drive.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's going to give us a little bit more of a jolt when we put the foot down. And the thing I love about these EVs is when you're driving them, this power, the torque, they don't feel heavy, but around corners, that heft is good. It'll keep you planted, especially in winter and snow. Weight goes a long way.
I mean, that and the all-wheel drive, it makes it surprisingly good in the snow.
I was talking to our salesman, Chanel. She has an all-wheel drive, and we were talking about how it was during the winter.
Yeah.
She said she never slipped, not even once. Black ice, anything. She was fine. It's just crazy to hear.
Yeah.
You never know. Especially with this past winter, she said she drove through all of it because we always come to the Polestar office no matter what the weather.
Mm-hmm.
And she made it here just fine.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, like, and this winter was, we get some decent sized snowstorms too. So
Yeah, this is the bigger screen for all of our things.
And then you also, so you also have like CarPlay and Android Auto too, which I mean, I can't even think of why you would really need them with this stuff in there, right?
With everything on, people like having, people prefer Waze sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I
sure,
really
sure.
think that with this, everything that's information that you get with this and the car, I feel like this is the best option.
Yeah.
But you could have Apple CarPlay, say, on this screen, and you would still have your maps on the
Oh,
center
okay.
screen.
Interesting. So you could do Waze sort of for like, whatever, accident alerts and where the police are.
Yeah, I love using it for the police.
Yep.
The climate controls, you can go to manual with this little fan right here, is going to pop up the whole screen.
Yep.
If you don't want the whole screen to pop up, you just want to change the temperature, you can do a quick thing right here.
Yep.
The sync is always going to be at the top.
Okay.
So if you have someone that doesn't want something, you go. This is going to have heated and steering wheel, so that's going to be like here. So all climates are always going to be at the bottom. If you want to change individual things, you just touch the little fan.
Nice.
And if we hold down our auto button, I think for 5 seconds, it's going to change it to 72, and it's going to keep that no matter what.
Just kind of hold it there. Okay, gotcha.
So boom, we'll go back to the maps.
Nice. And not that we would need it now, but so it's got heated seats. Okay.
So obviously, like upper package is going to come with ventilated seats with the Napa leather.
Oh, okay.
But this one's going to have our, this is Weave Tech? This is Weave Tech, so it's going to have our Weave Tech and with the heated. And then all the speakers are going to be hidden in the cloth. The only one we're going to see is up here. This one right here as well.
Yeah, one of the other things I saw was that everybody was talking about how great the sound system is.
Is awesome. Harman and Kardon is awesome. I'm hoping for the Polestar 3. Harman and Kardon, they have a sister company, Bowers and Wilkins.
Oh, yeah.
They sound amazing with some of the Volvos. So I'm very excited. I know the Polestar 1 has Bowers and Wilkins.
Yeah.
So hopefully the Polestar 3 will get that.
The 3 is going to be the SUV?
Yeah. We're going to get more information on that in October and hopefully see some orders in January.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that'll be really popular, I think. Especially around here.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to have their SUV.
Everybody. Nowadays the crossover is the new car.
Yeah.
Everyone loves the space, and there's no like sacrifice as far as like power and speed now with the EVs. Not really giving up anything.
Yeah. Is that like essentially the same drivetrain and platform and stuff as this?
So I honestly do not know. We have zero to little information as far as like battery life and stuff like that. But we're expecting it to be a longer range than the Polestar 2.
Oh, okay. I mean, that'll be so like probably close to or over 300 then. That's really good.
Give it the beat a little bit if you want.
Let's do it. And it moves,
That feels like a roller coaster.
Yeah. I missed that a little bit with the Y out. So I used to have the 3.
Yeah, going from the 3 to the Y.
Yeah. And it's it's not bad either, but you feel the heft a little bit. Yeah. This feels This is probably even more so more powerful than the 3. I didn't have like the performance one or anything.
So there's a lot of comparisons against the 3. So the one that I always come back to is because of the adjustability and the dampeners and all that stuff. This car is really meant. If you wanted to, you can go straight here. This entrance is a little wonky.
Gotcha.
We'll go through the not this next light, but the one after that.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries.
But around tracks and like cornering, this car I feel like takes the cake because of the adjustability that you have and the Brembo brakes.
Right. Yeah, I mean, just even the ride quality, you feel like very
planted.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not stiff, but it's also not squishy.
So all this can be changed by just swiping down. Obviously, once you go through the Google Play Store and you add more apps, those apps are going to be in these individual sections.
Gotcha.
So this one's going to be the music. This one's always going to be like our Google Play and our range for our car.
Yep.
Sorry, this is the navigation and like talking to Google.
Okay.
This is going to be an Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and this is going to actually be the navigation that you ever put in.
Yep. Or like it's even shows the brakes in the picture.
Right there, yeah. Just letting you know. And then all the assist is going to be right here.
Yep.
I mean, Polestar still holds on to our sister company's safety. Volvo is really well known for that, and we want to be well known for that as well.
Yeah.
So all these assists, you can turn them on, but obviously you want to keep them on to keep you safe.
Yeah.
The collision avoidance is very, very intuitive. You never think you need it until you need it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really nice. The ready to drive notification honestly is also cool.
So like that would, okay.
Yeah, say we were sitting here conversating and somebody in front of us moved, it'll like, hey, you all right? And then it'll ask us to start going. It's really nice.
I had that. I swear, I was going the second the light turned green here when somebody honked at me as I was turning in here too.
That's New Jersey for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
if you're not moving before the light changes, you're gonna get beeped at.
So also we can see our backup camera.
Yeah.
We'll also have 360.
Oh, that's cool.
When we start pulling up, we can look at our front camera.
Yeah, driving is fantastic.
So just to put it into park, we're just gonna press the P button.
Yep. Awesome. Cool.
Any other questions on the car?
I didn't really look around too much, but
no, we got the panoramic roof. At night we'll be able to see a little better, but we have a little projection of the North Star.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay, I can see it sort of in the glass up there. Yeah. Of course, every single time, right? Park in the very farthest end of the parking lot, all by myself, and then get cars on both sides. Typical. All right, so I'm leaving the Short Hills Mall now, which is incredibly stressful because this is where all of the New Jersey housewives go during the day to do their shopping, and the driving and parking situation is not fantastic. But I'm not that stressed out, thanks to the calming scent of, I don't remember the name, something very air diffuser from Tamai, so shout out Tamai, thanks again for sending those products. So I'm driving back home now in the Tesla. Sorry for the super loud air conditioning noise, pretty sunny and brutal outside, so getting pulled back down now. I honestly cannot believe that this mall does not have any EV chargers. I mean, every other car here is a Tesla. That's also one of the things that I actually liked about the Polestar. It definitely, it's subtle, like it's not a car that jumps out at you, but it is, pause in action. It's different. Like it's distinct. It doesn't look like too many other cars out there. It definitely takes a lot of notes from the from Volvo, but it looks different than a Volvo. And more around here, every other car is a Tesla. So like just having something different is quite nice. So I like that. Again, the styling on the Performance really speaks to me. I think that looks fantastic. And that's almost certainly the way that I would go. The driving, I would say, very comparable to Model 3 long range, I would say. Lucid Park there, I think it's the same one. Very comparable to Model 3 long range, I would say. Not necessarily Performance. So I didn't realize, he was sort of explaining it, but I was a little bit confused. The Performance model from the 2021 version of the car, which is what I drove, basically is almost purely aesthetic in terms of like the driving and performance aspects. There's no more power or acceleration or even torque with the Performance over the regular dual motor one. All you're really getting is the upgraded brakes and I guess like a more active suspension and adjustable suspension. So I did notice like the suspension was very nice, and I think actually even better, definitely better than the Y. I'd say even probably better than the 3 was. Very well connected to the road, not super stiff, but also not like super bouncy as you were going over stuff. So very, very nice for that. Not like a huge difference, but I'd say like very marginally better than the Model Y, non-performance long range. So there is a, if you want to get like the full unlock of the Performance, there is an over-the-air upgrade that you can buy, very similar to what Tesla offers with the acceleration boost, but it's only in Europe right now, not offered in the US, but they thought that it would be coming to the US fairly soon. And so like that will actually give you, you know, the full performance upgrades basically. In the refreshed version, which is coming in just about a month, in the 2023 version, the performance will come with that additional acceleration boost, like just as part of the performance package. So I don't know if that means that it's going to cost more, or basically if you know, like they're just giving you sort of that unlock as part of the performance to make it more compelling. So so the one I was driving didn't have that. But I would say like you know, I did notice it a little bit, like it felt almost like the Model 3 does in chill mode, which you know, means like you have that torque available and stuff, but it's kind of not the second that you put your foot on the pedal. And so like there's a little bit of a sort of lag between that and when it, you know, would kind of kick in. But then once it kicked in, you know, very powerful and you know, felt great with the acceleration. So you know, I didn't like go through all the menus and stuff since he was sort of doing it as we were driving. He put it in Sport ESC mode. I didn't see like a separate drive mode for Sport. There was like a regenerative braking setting too. He put that into like the full one pedal drive for me, since I'm, you know, I told him I was used to it with the Tesla. So like the regenerative braking was great, and that felt, you know, very Tesla-like perfect use of regenerative, very good blending with like the actual brakes if you need to stop. And it felt great, like no notes, happy with that. The autopilot was also very good. I mean, I only used it, you know, for 30-second stretch of the road, but it felt, you know, very confident. It wasn't like weaving in and out. Didn't have any problem with like the traffic in front of me and the lights and stuff. So, you know, I would obviously have to test that a little bit more on like a longer drive on the highway and stuff, but it seemed like that was, you know, definitely quite capable. Essentially, you know, just like lane keep assist and adaptive cruise control. But nice to have that, and it's not like limited to pre-mapped roads and stuff, which is good. But the acceleration part itself is like maybe the only one disappointing thing with it. So I would definitely like to see the performance upgrade for that and how that changes things with the car. Because like it felt very sporty, like, you know, it was very low on the ground. The suspension was great, kind of a, you know, wide wheelbase and like squat. So the acceleration didn't quite match that. But it wasn't bad either. Like, I feel like it would be very livable with. I was just expecting maybe a little bit more with that. But yeah, overall, I think, you know, very cool car, and definitely way more interested in it now than before I did the test drive. And I really like they were super low pressure about everything there. They were very willing to answer all of my questions. I stood there and asked them questions about like everything for almost 30 minutes, and super patient with that, and told me everything that they knew. You know, they didn't know a whole lot about the tax incentives, but they were very clear and transparent that as of right now, like today, there is no federal tax incentive for them, but that might change with the new ones. But the interesting thing was that it is actually potentially qualifiable for the New Jersey incentive, which I didn't even realize existed. I knew about the no sales tax one on EVs because we have that with the Teslas, which is actually a pretty nice incentive. But they said there's also a $2,000 credit that might be available if Polestar is able to get the filing and stuff in New Jersey for that. So I'll have to see on that one, but yeah, that certainly helps. But yeah, and then, you know, absolutely no pressure at all on the car. Like, they just asked me if I had questions and like walk me through what the configuration process and stuff would be, but like just no pressure. Really liked, you know, this new sort of direct-to-consumer model that I mean, honestly, like Tesla wasn't the first to do it. I think, you know, Scion and Saturn and stuff were like starting to push that, but this is fantastic. Like, no negotiation, no pressure. You just order the car when you want. Like, they have plenty of demand anyway. They don't care about, you know, me like putting my order in today. But you know, very sort of customer focused and stuff, and I really like that. I was kind of worried about doing the test drive because I didn't want to be like, you know, forced into signing something or making a decision on the spot or anything, and absolutely none of that. So great experience overall, and you know, I think they're gonna do a lot of great things. Yeah, so that was super cool. I do want to thank Polestar of Short Hills here for letting me do that test drive and then spending quite a bit of time answering a ton of questions that I had about the car. So it turns out this is a 2021 model. Although it was produced more recently than that, but basically they haven't changed the models since then. But it turns out that the refresh for 2023 is actually happening in the next month. So it's a really good time right now to potentially buy a Polestar. So that's where they're going to have some additional range. So it's going from 440, I think she said, to 470 miles. And the performance version will actually get a bigger performance upgrade, which right now is potentially going to be an over-the-air software upgrade thing, sort of similar to what Tesla does. But that means that this one that I test drive actually doesn't have like the full performance capacity unlocked. So the 2023s will have that, which increases the horsepower and torque, which is really cool. I actually really like the performance, to be honest. Both the aesthetics of it with the brake calipers and valve stems and the seat belts, but just the way that it kind of felt with the suspension as well. So if I were to order this, which I'm now kind of thinking about, that's probably the way that I would end up going. So really cool with that. They've also got the Polestar 3, which is going to be their SUV, coming out. I think they said the launch event was going to be in October. And because of the that's actually going to be assembled in South Carolina, I guess, kind of on the same facility as what Volvo is doing, which would make them theoretically eligible for the Made in America requirement of the tax credit, but they're not sure exactly what the pricing and stuff is going to be yet, so they didn't want to commit or anything on that, but that might actually open up and be a good thing for the demand there. So that will be an interesting one to keep an eye on too. So we'll see. Right now, all you really have to do is put a $500 deposit down, which is fully refundable. And they said delivery times are typically about 3 to 4 months right now, which really isn't too bad in the world of EVs, much less than Tesla, and certainly less than what I'm seeing with like Ford and stuff right now. And you also don't have to play the game of doing dealer markups and stuff, which is quite nice. You know exactly what you're going to be paying. So I really do think like they're doing a lot of smart things here, kind of spinning this off into its own brand, but still using the Volvo network for repairs and service, and using some of the Volvo manufacturing capabilities and like reusing parts to save on money and stuff is really smart. But then still being able to be spun off and like kind of more nimble as a EV company. So really cool stuff there, and I'm excited to see what Polestar keeps doing. I think they're well poised to have a massive increase in growth because they're pretty underrated and not really considered right now. So I'm cheering for them. Really like that experience, and may have convinced me to put one of those refundable deposits down. We'll see. So awesome stuff, and thanks again to Polestar of Short Hills for that. Can't wait to see what stuff is coming next. So hopefully you found that interesting. If you did, please do give a like. It helps other people find this and helps me keep growing the channel. And I've got a lot more EV interesting stuff coming, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of that. Have a ton of Tesla content coming, accessories that I'm reviewing, a couple more EV tests like this. I'm gonna see if I can potentially even get in a Lucid. And we've got a big trip to Europe coming where we're going to be doing a lot of investigation of the EV infrastructure and models and stuff available there that we don't get here. So you don't want to miss any of that. Make sure to subscribe. With that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.